The Voice of Migrants. Today, I am your host. I am Chris. I have watched your reactions on my previous videos where I'm talking about the positive impact of the Libyan community to the migrants in Libya. I spoke about the hospitable nature of Libyans. As I as well spoke about Libya being a country for capacity development and skill acquisition. And I have watched your reactions. I've watched how you feel about those videos that are on Facebook. But let me remind you, the Voice of Migrant is a program that focuses on massive sensitization of the migrant community and also continually advocate for the integration or the guarantee of safety, of security for migrants in the country. We are here not just to bring you the positive impact of the Libyan community, but we are here to tell you the truth about the circumstances surrounding the migrant community in the country, which are the things you need to know. Today, I will divert a bit from telling you about the positive impact of the migrant community, and I want to speak about three activities or three things that we need to know. Two of them are very sensitive to our day-to-day life, and one of them are the activities that migrants carry in or migrants operate in Libya that goes about, that destroys the value of the country, which we need to talk about it. Most of the times, I don't believe that we only need to bring about the negative energies of Libya to migrants. We also need to look at how migrants are contributing to the destruction of the values of the country. Now, I will start with the fact that the moral, cultural, religious, and the social values of this country has been shattered or it's at risk because of the presence of migrants. The moral, the religious, the cultural, and the social values of this country, Libya, is at risk because of the presence of migrants, which we need to tell ourselves the truth. And I know each time when you watch my videos, even if you comment negatively, you know that what I'm telling you or what I'm saying is truth. The reason why I said that the presence of migrants in the country is at risk or is going about destroying the cultural, the religious, the social, and even the moral values of the country. Number one, when the news goes around the world that migrants are sold in Libya into prostitution, my question is, who are those who carry out this activity of prostitution? To those who are watching us, have you ever seen a Libyan who is a prostitute? No. Migrants are the ones who operate, for example, they call it connection houses in Libya. Migrants are the ones who operate connection houses. They use migrants for their sex and selfish interests. They are the ones who can sell a migrant from one sexual home to another sexual home. So now, who are the cause? Prostitution has been introduced into the country Libya by migrants, thereby destroying the moral values of the country, destroying the cultural values of the country. Migrants are involved in this activity in a very high rate, which has an effect on the migrant community and even their embassies, because most of the times when this activity is facing challenges, for example, the migrants who have been used sexually and maybe they contact sicknesses, that is when they will remember their communities. That is when they will remember their embassies. Most of the times, for example, in the Nigerian embassy, you see they bring young girls, dump them in the front of the embassy, and go away. All this is done by migrants, not Libyans. Libyans are 100% exempted from such activity. Even if they are indirectly connected to this activity, they are connected by migrants themselves. Migrants are the one who knows the road for human trafficking. Migrants are the ones who knows the villages where these girls comes from. Migrants are the one who knows how they bring them into the country, even though they are brought by Libyans. But this activity is coordinated by migrants who have been in the country for many years, and they are out to make sure that their selfish and economic gains are protected at every cost. So the activities of migrants in Libya is almost going about destroying the values of the country. Migrants who are ladies, who are females, you see them dancing on TikTok, dancing on Facebook naked, dressing half naked on the streets of Libya, where Libyan women dress decently. But migrants who come into the country, they know that the culture of the country ensures that a woman is supposed to dress covering all the parts of her body. And even you will see some Libyans who are religiously upright. They will dress as it is coded or it is directed by the religion Islam. But when migrants come into the country, they don't have this respect for this culture. They don't have this respect for this religion. They don't have this respect for these moral values of the country. You see them walking on the street half naked, putting on trousers that are visible, doing anyhow, dancing in the streets, which is against the moral value of the country. So who are the cause of the problems? And if the Libyan security gets up one day and carry out raiding maybe around a particular community, maybe they raid all the migrants who are there, take them to prisons, then you will see it on Facebook, on social media, that Libyans have started arrested again, Libyans have started arrested again, not knowing that the migrants themselves are the cause of the problem. And when we come online to sensitize the people, to tell them these are what we're supposed to do, they give us negative energies. Migrants are the cause of the problems we suffer in the country, and I want the world to know this is the focus of this program. It's either we amend our ways into the country and we live with the Libyans peacefully, which we call societal coexistence. It's either we know how to control ourselves to live in the country, or we leave the country, or we tell the Libyans to deport us, because that is the best they can do for us. So the presence of migrants in the country is destroying the values, the cultural, the moral values of this country, because migrants are involved into illicit activities that destroys the values of the country. Migrants are drinking alcohol in the streets, the smoke in the streets. You see migrants with dreadnoughts in the street. It's not in line with the values of the country. That is the first. Secondly, migrants live in the country without any means of identification, and it's a serious problem, especially to their embassies. Migrants live in the country without even knowing the road to their embassy, without even looking for their community leaders, without associating with their people. A migrant came illegally, and he has been living illegally in the country for the past 5 years, and he has no means to identify himself. We are here today to tell you, even if apart from the issue that maybe a police may arrest you, or maybe you may be a victim of circumstance in one issue or the other, for your own personal safety, there is a need for you to get a means of identification. If you don't have a passport, go to your embassies. If there's no way for you to get a passport from your embassies, there must be a document that can attest that you are a national of that country. Those who are from Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, Chad, you have embassies in the country. Nigeria, you have embassies in the country. Ghana, you have embassies in the country. How can you be a Ghanaian working in your own corner, living in the country for 2, 3, 4 years without any paper that has your name, that has your nationality? How do you then secure your own safety? For example, you are walking on the street and maybe you are knocked by a car, or maybe you have accident in your place of work, and maybe you need to be rushed to the hospital. And they check in the hospital, you don't have any document that identifies you, and the hospital rejects you. Then it will be posted on Facebook that Libyan hospitals don't accept migrants. That is not the truth. The truth is the migrants themselves, they don't want to take the precautions that can guarantee their safety at every point in time when help is needed. So that is the second. If you are a migrant in Libya, especially from sub-Saharan African countries, this is the hope or the voice of migrants. We are advising you, we are giving you this orientation. Look for your community, look for your embassy. Ask for a way to identify yourself. If you have a passport that don't have a resident, look for a way to regularize your stay in the country, and nobody would disturb you. Look for a way to look for a means to get your residency permit in your passport, regularize your stay, and enjoy the hospitality of the country Libya. The third, when you say that Libyans don't treat us equally, Libyans in their hospitals they don't give us attention, it's not true, and that is why you see migrants dying in their number on daily basis. It has become a serious problem with embassies, because most migrants are brought, especially to the embassies, when they are at the point of giving up. Why? Because there is this mentality that goes in the streets that said Libyan hospitals don't treat migrants, or Libyan hospitals reject migrants, or Libyan hospitals don't give attention to migrants. No, it's a lie. So as a migrant, when you see certain conditions happening to you, you have slight headache, maybe you have some certain medical problems, don't sit at your home. Look for the next available hospital, especially public hospital. You can go to Sheikh Zawiya. Those of you who are in Tripoli, you can go to Tobi. Those of you who are out of Tripoli, in Zuwara, Zawiya, Subrata, they are government hospitals. When you feel that there is discontent with your capacity or your ability to sustain life on a daily basis, go to the hospital, make checks. Don't let your kidney to die before they bring you to the embassy. Don't let sugar to eat you before they bring you to the embassy. Don't let your high pressure to be at the point where it cannot be controlled again before you are brought to the embassy. And when instead of the people to take you to hospitals, they bring you to embassies, they bring you to communities. The embassy is not a hospital. The community is not a hospital. Go to Suktalata and see how they bury our people every day on daily basis. Some who die because of excessive drinking of alcohol. Some who die because of ignorance of taking care of their health. Some who die because of useless circumstances. And we lose our people every day. We are here to tell you, as a migrant and you are watching this video, you can share it to your platforms if you feel that this information is comfortable for you. When you feel that you cannot meet up or you are sick, don't stay in your house. Even if you don't want to go to the hospital alone, look for your community leaders, call them on phone, explain your situation. They will take you to the hospital where you can be given attention. If you can't go to the hospital alone, if you're a Nigerian, call your Nigerian community leaders. If you're a Ghanaian, call your Ghanaian community. That is why it is good to go close to your communities. Don't stay isolated because you think that Libya, and I no can't do community for Libya, no be community I can't do for Libya. But when the time comes when you need a community, then you'll be running up and down. And if they don't give you attention, you say they are bad. Look for your communities. Go closer to your embassies. Go closer to your people. When anything happens to you and you feel you are not okay, you cannot go to the hospital, maybe because you are afraid you don't have documents, call your community leaders. Call your embassies. At least one person will give you a directives on how to get attention in the medical center in Tripoli. So these are the 3 areas I want us to talk about today, and I believe that you have gotten something. It's high time we start understanding that the country is too lenient, is too tolerant for us to live. When we keep condemning the country where we know we are the fault, where we know we are the problems, then things can never get better. We just want you to be conscious. We just want you to wake up from your sleep. We just want you to change the mentality you have. We want you to integrate yourself in the system and then see how the country can be beneficial to you. I remain your host. My name is Chris. I am the host and the voice of migrants. Thank you very much for joining.